You're listening to United We Scan podcast. The views and opinions expressed are not that of the United States Postal Service or the National Rural Letter Carriers Association. If you are in need of assistance pertaining to the rural craft, please contact your local steward or assigned district representative. Thank you.
Good evening, Happy New Year. We are back with episode 5, and we're all here tonight. Bill, Mike, Josh, and myself. How you doing tonight, Mike?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Just enjoying a Sunday off before I get back at it tomorrow.
Josh, how you been doing?
I've been doing pretty good. I decided that after yesterday, I'm no longer going to be an RCA. I'm going back to regular. We had one of the two girls from my zone was off Friday, yesterday, and tomorrow, and helped out Friday and yesterday. And after at 7 something, decided, nope, I'm done. Delivered all my packages and brought my whatever mail I had for my route back, which was just like an hour and a half of riding. And went in first thing this morning and just quickly ran that mail and then came home.
Bill, how's your new year been treating you?
Oh my God. Sunday delivery, was that authorized? Oh my God. No wonder management has a shit fit with us. Oh, my New Year's been good. Yesterday was my drop day. The schedule wasn't up. I didn't go in, and I spent the day with my grandson. So it was a great day. And today the Eagles clinched the NFC East, so it's even better. And tomorrow I go in and face a shitstorm for my route because nobody delivered a mail on Saturday. So,
and being
same as usual.
Yep. Same here. I mean, being as a non-Sunday Amazon office, and we think Amazon's trying to catch up from the blizzards that hit the Midwest area and us, and so they've been extending their weekend drop-off past the holiday. Next weekend will be our last Saturday, Sunday drop-off. So I did go in and run Amazon for the K route I'm running tomorrow, and the one that was running, we had 2 regulars, and myself and the newer RCA, who finally gets to do his OJT this week, come in and run. We ran all but 2 routes. And the one, he ran his big route and took my aux route packages out with him as well. So tomorrow, depending on what the mail truck brings us, should be a fairly easy day.
Well, at least you weren't in, was it Cheyenne, Wyoming?
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. 13,000 packages. Yeah, that was...
They estimated it was 110 pallets with an estimated 120 packages per pallet.
Yep.
I mean,
wow.
And they closed 2 other branches
to the public
to bring the employees over. Yeah, to the public, to bring all the employees over to sort and deliver those packages.
Yeah, I saw that. That's just crazy.
It was what, Monday night, Tuesday morning is when this happened.
Yep. Yeah, I know, I saw that. I was like, that is just insane. I couldn't imagine. And I guess they had more trucks waiting to come in still, too, from what I read.
I don't know. I only saw the link to one article, and I don't know.
I know when I walked in.
It was the one local paper.
When I walked back into my office
or something.
Yesterday evening when I got back off the routes, I noticed that there was... Now, getting right, I have a smaller office compared to you 3. So, 6 full routes, an aux route, and 2.5 city routes. I say 2.5 because the one's an aux. So when we have 3 9-foot tall pallets of Amazon sitting there for one zip code and 2 other almost full pallets for the other 2 zip codes, which are only, the one zip code has 148K and the other one has a 43K in my ox route. So, that's quite a bit. And they were coming in and dropping off more today. And in fact, what they dropped off today wasn't nearly as bad. It was a couple small, barely, I would say 1 or 2 rows high for the 2 zip codes, and then one for, and then just 1 pallet for the main zip code. So she had those all broke down, and I took everything out for the one route that I ran today, that I'm running tomorrow. I took everything out except for the one business, the one shop, because obviously they're closed on Sundays, so they'll have 3 Amazon packages tomorrow, and then one other heavy one that I'd already taken 4 packages out, and this must have been on that other skid that she broke down, because I had to stop and use the bathroom because, coffee was kicking in. And so I grabbed I grabbed 2 more packages that were still there, and I saw that one. I'm like, I've already been to his house. He'll get it tomorrow. And took off. So yeah, I literally have 2 Amazon stops tomorrow. So it's basically whatever comes off the truck that I'll have between the 2 routes. So that'll make my Monday a lot easier. But yeah, we finally get to do some OJT. The new sub that's been helping deliver the packages the last few weeks. We finally get to train him on his route this week. We'll see how that goes. And then I've got another one that'll be in Academy this week. He actually applied back at the end of August. In fact, I can't tell you guys anything. He was supposed to go to orientation this week, not this past week, but the previous week. And as he was getting ready to leave to drive the 2 hours to orientation, our postmaster got a hold of him and told him, nope, it's been delayed because he wasn't in the payroll system yet. It took from the end of August till now to get him hired, and then delayed another week because he wasn't in the payroll system. Got that taken care of. He did his orientation, defensive driving, and his shadow day and LLV training this past week. Goes to Academy this week, and then I get to train him on his route the following week. So that'll be fun.
You just can't make this shit up.
And then our one CCA, because we have 2 full routes and then an aux route on the city side, and we have 2 regular carriers, a PTF, who's also training 204B, and 1 CCA, and of course he's getting gypped on the hours because of the other 3. So we've been trying to get him to come to the rural side for quite a while now, and he told us today, because he was in delivering packages, that he is going to cross over to the dark side, but right after his vacation. I said, good, because the route you're going to want is the one I'm running, because she loves to take her time off. So that was actually kind of cool to hear that he actually is serious about jumping to the other side now. So that'll help out. And then we'll only have 1 more K route that needs a sub, but I can cover that one until then. She's a Monday K day anyways, so.
Okay.
Yeah. So isn't this interesting? What we were talking about previous to recording here is this mini mail survey that National has yet to inform us of any delayments, yet I know there's been quite a bit of talk in Facebook groups and other forums about words coming down from management about it being delayed. And I got an email from my DR with training that starts the 19th of this month through the 2nd week of February. So, I guess it still has not officially been announced. Are we surprised by any of this? No, not really. But it looks like training does start. All stewards are going. That's what she was letting me know. She did call me to say, hey, I just want to make sure you got my email. I said, yep. To pick a date and location to go do the mini mail survey training that management's going to receive. So when do you think we are going to get the official word on this, guys?
Well, if to quote previous leadership, past practice, it will be the week before, or it'll be probably next week, which is the week before the
Training starts.
count is, the last word that the count was supposed to start.
Which is about the week before training starts. Yeah, because I actually had read a Facebook group post where my state vice president had made that he had gotten informed by his postmaster who had received an email stating the training and the when it was actually going to happen, and he then had contacted our DR and got confirmation on it. Yet there has still been no word from National.
The only reason I know of such things is the buddy of mine is a rural ops person for the district, and he actually just got a promotion to national mapping, whatever. He told me that, what the tentative dates were going to be, and he actually is going, I think it's to Texas, to get trained on how to train management.
From what I understand,
on
training's going to occur during Southwest Area Conference. From what I understand. Crickets, guys. Bill?
Well, the thing that frustrates me is it's like you said, we're hearing Facebook, other Facebook groups, and I'm hearing this from a guy I know, and this where is national leadership? Why isn't national leadership leading? We should be getting stuff. Why aren't we getting announcements, through the app, through the website, through something saying, hey, that the mini mail survey has been rescheduled to the last 2 weeks of February or whatever it is today, or whatever the days are, and that should be happening, and then it does beg the question. They pushed the last one off because there was concerns about the transparency of the numbers. Have those issues been resolved yet? Because
I was told yes, they have resolved that. They have resolved that on getting those numbers that they were having concerns about implemented into the system to get credited to each route. Okay,
but then again, why aren't we being told that? We shouldn't have to beg this from our union from our national leadership. They should be out in front with this.
Right.
I think there would be Bill, just a second. There would be a lot less suspicion and a lot more support for this if they were telling us what was going on every step of as this process goes on, instead of treating us like mushrooms.
Well, it's just like they didn't tell you from September 2nd about it being pushed back to January, February, and now it's being pushed back even further. And they haven't told you. They didn't tell you that your back pay was being pushed off into May 2023, but they fought for it because they didn't want to lose their election at the convention. Because if they'd have put that news out there, all their asses would have been out of there.
Mm-hmm.
because it's politics.
Yes. Yes.
Because we don't matter to them.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
and
back to in regards to with the pallets of out in Wyoming of parcels. I just posted in the general chat a bunch of pictures, and I looked. The date that I have in my photo gallery is December 4th of 2019. This was my office at the time. That was 60 plus containers, whether it be cages, BMCs, APCs, pallets. That
That's
had
a lot
to
of
get
parcels.
worked.
That's a lot of parcels. That's a lot of parcels.
Yeah, it was. I want to say that was a resave, that I have resaved them in December of 19. That was actually from a blizzard that came through just before Valentine's Day, when Valentine's Day was on a Saturday. And even up in New York, because of that, even up in New York, they couldn't deliver the pack. They, like, flower deliveries couldn't get through. It was so bad. And this was actually the Tuesday night after we had 60 containers, and then the following night at 6 p.m. when they still had 60 containers to work, because whatever they had thrown off, they had gotten back. The trucks had dropped off that much more.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, looking at what we've gotten, just making up for, and we know the stuff was to be delivered before Christmas, because we've been getting comments from customers as we're delivering, going, "This was supposed to be here before Christmas," and we're like, "Yeah, we can't deliver it if we don't have it."
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we had better weather where I was at, so I haven't seen a lot of stuff. I don't think we had a lot of stuff to, and judging by the amount of parcels we pushed out, I don't think we were delaying anything, at least in my office. So,
we had a few light days just before Christmas, and then it was light, and then it's kind of come in spurts. Am I lagging on your guys' end?
Yep.
Long as it's not just me,
it's not just you, Bill.
Oh Lord. Yeah, this mini mail survey, that's just icing on the cake, isn't it? I mean, you're talking 10 years. We're going into the 11th year of Wrecs.
Yeah.
And it's still not done yet. And it's been pushed back at least another 30 days, because I guarantee you we won't have our training before the end of January. So how are you going to do it, until that time? Are they going to do it district by district or state by state? What are they going to do as far as doing the survey? As soon as everybody's trained? I mean, Jesus.
I
don't get this. I really don't.
And that's what it's looking like from when I was looking at the schedule that I have. Like I said, we were talking off record. I gave you guys who your district trainers are on both the USPS and union side of things. And that training schedule goes all the way up to mid of February, and then makeup dates just in case it's needed. So I'm not going to necessarily say assume, but I'm going to guess that they're going to have all the stewards, they want all the stewards and management trained within a week before it actually starts.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm just trying to find a way to say this. I mean, I mean, I think on the one hand, it's good that they're, at least getting the training done. At least our union side is getting at least they're training on it.
Yes.
There's the frustration that it's being pushed back again. It's taken 11 years. I know all that, but I understand the frustration with all that. Believe me, I'm frustrated too, because I would like to get, some sort of evaluation of my route again, just to make sure that the evaluation is accurate. Mm-hmm. And, I worry, well, not worry, but, in my office, when we lost FSS and over 20 of our routes went overburdened and they got, routes got cut, new routes got created, and this and that. We were supposed to have, at least on my side of town, we were supposed to have our routes squared up, and Wrecs has pushed that back. So I would like to find out what my new route is going to look like.
Hold on, Mike. You said that you got rid of FS and then they adjusted your routes?
Well, all the routes went up after after FSS. So yeah, I went from a 43 to a 45 after we lost FSS.
But did they do adjustments after the FSS was pulled?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. The way you said it sounded like that you got all bumped up and then they adjusted you.
Well, no, yeah, no route adjustments, nothing. But we had our one aux route between the two offices became a regular route, and then they established another aux route on our side, and it became a regular route, and then they established. And then they established another aux route on our side, and then they added like an 800 unit apartment condo complex on it. So it's a regular route now. And, they established a couple of small routes on the other, and they made, so all the routes got bigger. Mm. But at least on our side of town, they were supposed with the route that got the big apartment complex, management was going to, quote, square up our routes. And my understanding was that big apartment complex was going to start shoving everything north. So a lot of folks were going to be getting new territory. But at the same time, we're going to have a lot of routes not crossing over each other anymore. So, but Wrecs put all of that on hold. So,
right.
So, well, we're waiting for all of that to happen and see then how everything falls out.
Well, I don't know about any of the other stations that had FSS, but I can tell you that our 3 routes that were on FSS went up somewhere between 60 and 70 some minutes standard hours. I went up 64 standard minutes. The other 2 routes were both 45s. They're now 46s. So I'm not sure what their actual, how much actual time they gained when it went away on New Year's Eve.
Hey, Bill?
Well, I went from a K44 to a K48. On the verge of a 49.
I was just going to say, now what did you do? Because I know you called me that one day when I was out on the route to let me know how much you jumped.
Yeah, I jumped 4 steps. And it's like, and we had H routes become K routes, which kind of pissed them off because they were high H's and now they're low K's.
Yeah.
So they lost like $5,000 or $6,000.
Yeah, but they got a relief
do they have
day.
The 10 years in?
Yeah. You need a carrier, a sub for a relief day, don't you?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah.
and the worst part of it is that we have to redo the entire matrix, okay? And we have a supervisor who has a hard time picking out what sauce he wants from Chick-fil-A. So, good luck on that, huh?
Yeah.
So we have
Now,
to get our resident rural carrier specialist who redid our routes several years ago and put 24 houses at the end of a K46 route, which is 4.5 miles away from the end of the K46 route. So now it's technically a K50 after FSS went. And he's going to redo the formula. I have plenty of faith in postal management.
Oh, I'm telling you. So back
But,
to
As do we all.
back to Rex.
I'm gonna say with Mike's concern there with his evaluation, wanting his evaluation is a good segue to what someone had, Chris had written it, commented on your post earlier about what should we discuss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is
the importance of the scans and the being part of the job description. Yes, there are 6 mandatory scans that you are required to do each day, but there's actually 24 total possible scans
for various credit. Yeah, I am notorious for forgetting the postage due scan. That I will admit I am notorious for forgetting that one. But I do know, this is out for the RCAs. I'm going to make a little RCA get on my podium here for a moment. As an RCA, I have been around just over 8 years now. I have been through the old mail counts. I started in a study office for Wrecs. And then I have, in return, was help trained my office as a local steward on these Wrecs scans. These scans are important. These scans are your pay. Now, I know we have been preaching this, the 4 of us, all along for quite a long time now. As an RCA, I get it. If you're in one of those unicorn offices that's fully staffed, and I'm going to call that a unicorn office because they're a dime a dozen right now. There's very few fully staffed offices out there at the moment. And I get it. You may not be working all but 1 day a week. Or you may be helping in other offices to get the extra hours. I know I've been there in the past. These scans are your pay. That route evaluation is your pay, regardless of how often or not often you run a route, or whatever route it is. I cover all the routes in my office. I do those scans that I can remember on every route. And it's important. I have heard of I get some of those scans are not quite prevalent, but or seem like a waste of time. But yeah, they need to be done. They are important. In regards to unscannable parcels, I know that's a big one. Flats are not unscannable parcels. If you have a flat that's counted as a flat and you have to take it to the door, that's a door miscellaneous. If you have a parcel, an actual parcel that doesn't have a scan, it's metered, that's an unscannable parcel. If you have one that you can't, the barcode has been ripped off, that's an unscannable parcel. Something like that is an unscannable parcel. A flat is a flat. If you have to take it to the door for whatever reason, it's under door miscellaneous. And hold on, I'm going to pause this, and we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back, and what we were talking about is the importance of the Wrecs scans, especially for RCAs. Now,
Yes.
okay, are you guys hearing me a little bit better now? Am I lagging?
So far.
Okay. All right. Where I was going at with that, I'll just edit out the first part. Whatever. But, Rec scans, they are important. Your evaluation, your pay, even as an RCA, is based on the evaluation of that route. So, yes, you will, it is important. No matter if you're a regular, an RCA, you are running a PTF, you are running a route, those scans are important to that route. That's your pay. We were going with the unscannable parcel clarifications. Now, Bill, I want you to hop in and correct me if needed, but unscannable parcels are just that. That is a parcel, not a flat, that is unable to scan, whether the barcode is destroyed, or it's a metered parcel, or it's a prepaid first-class parcel that doesn't have a code on it. That's an unscannable parcel. If it is a flat that doesn't, because it's rigid and doesn't, or photos, we get school photos, team photos, pictures in that are flats. They're counted as flats. They need to go to the door because their mailbox is small and they don't fit in there. That is a door miscellaneous. Am I correct, Bill?
I'll disagree with you on that.
Okay.
On this basis. Okay, on this basis. If something like the school pictures, the diploma, comes in a tub, it can be considered a flat, and you can deliver it to the door as a door miscellaneous.
Mm-hmm.
If they are thrown in your hamper with your parcels, we count them as parcels.
There you go too.
Okay. If you have the semi-rigid, oversized calendars, or what do you call those? Fundraising items like from the Indian tribe, the Veterans Administration, and stuff like that, they are considered unscannable parcels if they're in your hamper.
Now mine will come in the flat hot case. 9 times out of 10.
Well, okay. No. Six times out of 10, they come in our hampers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
My question.
Friday, I actually went around to make sure everybody, did that because of the fact that it's in your hamper.
Now, my question in regards to this. Under the old count rules, if you could not case it, if it was rigid and you could not case it without affecting the mail that was already in the case, it would be considered a parcel. Does that rule still in effect?
That rule is still in effect. If it does not fit in that 1 inch or slot, then yes, that's still in effect. If it doesn't fit in with the mail.
Okay. Because I was going to say I get a mix sometimes. Sometimes I'll get a tub with some of those items that Bill was talking about, and in the same day, I'll have some of those same items in my parcel cage. So, but I'm like Bill. If it's, I'm of the opinion that if it's in my parcel cage, it's a parcel.
Yep.
And that's how I treat it.
Okay. Hypothetically speaking, let's say the clerks come across a number 10 envelope without a scan on it, and they put it in my hamper. Can I then scan that as an unscannable parcel when I get to that address?
Oh, under what? I would say yes,
right.
because they handled it as a parcel.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say yes.
I would say that yes too. As same with the packages of checks that come in without the scan code that get thrown with the parcels. It's coming out of your parcel hamper.
Yeah.
Yep. To me, that
Well,
would
we
also
have
be.
a situation where they'll often throw bundles of pre-sorted catalogs in there,
Mm-hmm.
and we count that as a parcel.
Yeah.
If it's in the hamper, it's a parcel.
Yeah.
What about
That's how I do it.
taking hold mail back? And now in the past counts. When you had a hold that was going back, you got a parcel credit for that.
Yeah, it's the same way as when you get a small little flat envelope, plastic envelope with a barcode on there. You get credit for the scan.
Yep.
Why shouldn't you get credit for everything else in that hamper?
This is why it's going to be
Hold
interesting.
mail, I think they've gone. I think when they first came out with the Wrecs scans or the Wrecs guide,
Hold mail, they said if you have to take it to the door because it's too much for the box, they said that was door miss.
Right.
That was the only thing I ever heard clearly of what was door miscellaneous.
Yeah, but I thought
Hold mail
they
resuming.
You finish, Josh, then I'll say my piece.
That was the only thing that I personally have ever heard as a specific example for door miscellaneous. Hold mail with more than 7 pieces that did not have, or 8 pieces that did not have something that was scanned anyway. Because if it has something that's scanned anyway, you're going to the, and you're scanning it and you're going to put where you left the location so you would leave it at the door so you're getting the walk credit.
But to your point, I never saw anything that said a specific piece count. But I thought they went originally and said if you're taking out a bundle of hold mail, that you got to take a credit for an unscannable parcel on that, regardless of whether or not you had anything in it. And then they came back later and said, no, you don't get. In fact, I think the Wrecs guide right now says that you don't get credit for a parcel. And it's been so long since I've looked at the Wrecs guide and the Wrecs Q&A, I'd probably have to dust it off again and take a look at that. But I think they say now that you don't get a parcel credit just for taking hold mail out.
Yeah, because I do believe under the informed delivery, you're still getting credit for that box that day that's on hold if they receive mail.
But if they have the parcel with the hold mail, then you get the miscellaneous door and the parcel to the door.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yes.
Is it yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Because when you do a hold mail and you have a parcel with it, okay, you scan the mail parcel as being customer hold, correct?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay. So your actual delivery is when you take the hold mail and the parcel to the door.
Oh, right. And you're two separate. You're calling it two separate things. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could buy that.
I hope so. Now, has anybody else come up with offices now using the scanners as their clock-in method?
For city side and
No
clerks?
4240s?
No.
No. What for rural print?
No.
Other than on Facebook. Other than people on Facebook saying something that they're no longer giving them 4240s, which is
against the
there's
contract.
nothing saying it's nothing saying they've gone away yet.
Right.
Yeah. And the last I heard, the unions, the position of the union was that the 4240 is still the official
Controlling
timekeeping document. It's the controlling timekeeping document.
Now we have notes all over that say your times must match.
Well, The only
Yeah.
thing I worry about matching, I know that my clock in and clock out times match. Whether or not my depart to the route and return to delivery unit times match what I put in the 4240 is up in the air.
Well, I'm going to say
because of all the scans I have of all the scans I have trouble with, the one I forget most frequently is depart to route. I'll be halfway up the 2 mile deadhead to the beginning of my route. I didn't do R8.
Now, I did. Go ahead.
I don't have an issue with those 6 mandatories.
Mm.
In and out, or out and back from lunch. I keep missing those. I even took my neighbor has a label maker, and I printed out 4 different labels that says clock to lunch, and posted and stuck them in different spots on my case, and still, no. But I write down 30 minutes on my 4240 every day, regardless of how long I actually take. Because at the end of the week, it averages out to about that, that long anyway.
Postage due is I'm notorious for forgetting that one. Has anybody been told that they will?
I'd have to say me too, for the reason that I don't get them, like hardly ever.
Oh no, we get a lot.
We don't get them because we don't have any clerks recording them, so they just hand them to you and walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing with certifieds and express mail and register.
Most of
I haven't signed for
anything ever.
The only thing they're making us sign for anymore are expresses.
No, we don't even get that.
No, we don't. They bring them after they sort them. They bring them around to the case and drop it off.
Yeah, there's no such thing as an accountable clerk anymore.
But I haven't signed for a postage due or a certified in at least 2 years, maybe 3.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do get something that says postage due, 90% of the time it doesn't say how much.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to the point where I'll say, how much is this for, and I won't get the package back for almost, or envelope package, whatever it is, back for like almost a week. And 50% of the time when I get it back, it still doesn't have an amount. So I'm like, I just deliver it.
Well, do what I did to one of my customers that I know really well. And I took a postage due to the door, and I told him, I said, I have a postage due here. He says, oh, how much? And he's reaching in his pocket, and I said, $104.63. He said, what the fuck? And I said, look, I just wanted to see how much you're willing to pay for this, okay? He said, you really are an asshole. I didn't get it right away. I didn't get the 104.
I wouldn't think so.
Oh God! But I don't have to buy Crown Royal for the rest of the year, though.
That's nice.
Good for you.
I don't know whether my customers like me or not, but they're going to make sure I'm an alcoholic for the rest of my life.
Is anybody else getting threatened with discipline if they miss any of these 6 required scans?
I haven't heard of it in my office.
I personally haven't heard of it in my station, but I know talking to other people locally a while ago, they were told they'd have to go on the telecom and explain to the postmaster why they missed it, like in the next day or 2 after. But I haven't heard anything recently.
I've had 2 carriers get letter of warnings for missing scans. The one was a scan that was the parcel was on their case when they came back, and nobody was there to tell them to take it back out. So they just scanned it in the office, as not attempted. The other one, the carrier scanned it in the office as being customer hold, and they gave them a letter of warnings. And I just sat on them and sat on them and sat on them. And then one day, the supervisor did what do they call that? The integrity scan on a parcel for me. And I went and printed out the integrity scan, the tracking number, and it says 427 package received in Westchester, which was funny because I clocked out at 422. So I turned around and took the integrity scan and the letter of warnings, went in the PM's office, and I said, I want these letters thrown out. I says, if I don't get these thrown out, I says, I'm going to cause more shit than you can possibly imagine. Well, you can't use that against me. I said, try me.
Now,
next day, he had them removed from their files.
Now, has anybody been threatened for missing one of the 6 required Wrecs scans?
Not threatened, but informed.
Okay. Now,
I don't know if they've gone that far in my office.
Well, this is coming down from above postmasters, and I did find out that if someone does receive discipline and they grieve it, as they should, in all discipline, you hear that, you contact your union steward, you grieve it. That if the steward cannot get it sustained and completely tossed out, that they are to appeal it and go to step 2, because National wants tracking of these carriers that are getting disciplined for missing one of the required 6 Wrecs scans. So, if you have management that doesn't agree and they want a discipline on it, and they say, nope, that's what I was told, this is what we're going to do, appeal it up to step 2. As we would anyways.
I don't see anything from our DR on that.
This came down from, this was in the steward Zoom training Thursday.
No, I missed my last steward's training because we didn't have enough people for me to go. Me and the ADR.
No, this was just in the Zoom training on Thursday with Bridget and Shirley.
The one they wouldn't let me on?
Yeah. That one. Did you sign up ahead of time? No.
Yeah, I signed up for it.
Oh, you just didn't have your link?
But for some reason wouldn't let me in.
Huh.
It was like my family reunion. Yeah.
But honestly, guys, these scanners, there is documentation out there that they are to not discipline based on scanner data, and Wrecs is scanner data. I know there have been times where people will scan something, and depart to route, an in load, start load, and it doesn't go through. And that's, and they know they did it. So that's scanner data, people. Fight it.
I would say,
She breaks up bad again.
Yep. What I did find out a while back was if you miss a scan of those 6 required, it puts it in as a 0% for the day.
Now I heard if you double
so it doesn't count any of the 6. If you accidentally do a double scan, it just bumps the one, they counteract and bump that one scan out, and it's just a percentage.
I haven't heard that one.
No.
What I heard was that if you screw up the scans, they throw it out, and because you will develop an average over the because this is going to be a 52-week average, a rolling average. So if you screw up a scan, they'll throw it out, and you get what your average is for that day.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. What the big deal is, if you miss a scan one day, we now have tracking sheets on all our clipboards that say management use that have every day for if we, to fill in if we missed a scan or not.
Yeah, it's weird. I just don't understand why they're still going right to discipline over something that should just be a job. Should be a what do they call it, like coaching or informal discussion. Yeah, thank you. There you go.
Well, like with my carriers being late, 3 minutes, 8 minutes, 7 minutes, we're getting pressure from district. I don't give a fuck. What would you rather have, a tardy employee or an absent one? Because 2 of the carriers who got disciplined for tardiness called out the next day. That's their mentality. So, you reap what you sow.
Mm-hmm.
You want to play petty addy shit. Guess what? They can be pettier. And our supervisor was on vacation last week. We never missed her. The postmaster was on vacation for 10 days. We never missed them. We can do without you. You need us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our
That's the long and short of it.
My postmaster, you're lucky to see her there more than 2.5 days a week. I'm not going to say lucky, but that's about all she is there.
Well, that's pretty good luck then.
Yep. The post office can still run with the carriers.
In our office,
management.
yeah, in our office, we have 100+ employees. And if you gave me 2 clerks, 1 rural, and 2 city carriers, we could run the office better than we have with the 5 supervisors and the postmaster we have. And we have no formal training.
Yep.
Now, you want to do your paperwork and your reports? Go ahead and do that. Stay the fuck out of our way, though. We know what has to move, when it has to move, how it has to move. I mean, we've been doing this long enough, folks. We know how to get the product out the door. And that's a shame because we have such piss poor management. And the people who are going into management are the ones who just don't want to carry mail anymore. That doesn't make them good management people at all. No people skills, no, even with formal training, they still suck at their jobs. How do people end up with no paychecks, after working 2 weeks?
Yep.
How do people end up, they serve on a route for 6 months, but yet they don't have any annual or sick leave accumulated. It's not hard, folks. If somebody works their drop day and they put R3 or R5, that means they should get paid, not that they should be charged for it. I mean, it's not that hard. But when I come back at the end of the day and I come into my office with my empty equipment and I'm cleaning up my case and everything, the last thing I should hear is 3 women over there chattering and laughing and everything else. Like, they're at a shopping spree, okay? Just having a good old time. How about checking the carriers who are coming in, okay? How about checking the vehicles? How about checking the parcel distribution for the next day or the spreading of mail with your late night clerks? How about looking in on the people doing dispatch? How about getting off your fat asses and walking the floor? Because you can't supervise from a chair. A floor supervisor has to walk the floor, period. But when you're carrying 2 small people in your back pocket because your ass is so big and you sit there and page all damn day, guess what? You're not going to get anything done. That was my rant.
You're allowed one once in a while.
Okay, thank you. Oh, another one in 15 minutes. Either full of shit or full of rants.
Has anybody else heard about the 10-day thing with boxes and going vacant after 10 days?
Going vacant? I mean,
if a box,
other than holding it for...
If a box doesn't receive mail in 10 days, then you have to go back, pull the mail, and then return it and mark that box vacant. 10 days. Now, if I'm right, every other documentation we work under says 90 days.
No, the only 10-day rule that I have in regards to the mail is if they don't take the mail out, and then you hold it and give them a letter saying they have 10 days to pick it up before it's returned.
Yeah, no.
Is that what you're confusing it with?
No. I think I'm going to ask for a copy of that email from my Poom because I was not there for the service talk. It was done before I came in for my aux route. But I have seen reports on it as well. Or other in groups too.
I will have to inquire about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't heard anything in regards to a 10-day. And so what you're saying is that Wrecs is automatically, the system's automatically converting a box to a vacant box if they haven't received mail for 10 days in a row.
Technically, yes. And you are supposed to then pull whatever mail's in there and either forward it on or send it back. Which is incorrect because, especially in seasonal areas where we have people that have their cottages and they get their cable bill or their electric bill, they get one piece of first-class mail within every 45 days, as it should, to remain active. But if that's all they're getting, then that's going to be considered a vacant box. That's not right.
No, yeah, that's... I'll have to inquire about that one.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that in my area. So.
Yeah, check that out. That's sketchy.
It is, and
I know exactly who to ask too.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to the supervisor in the morning and see if I can get a copy of that email. And if I have to put a formal RFI in, I will.
I just won't be able to ask this week.
But yeah, I think it's all a bunch of...
I was going to say, did we all just die there?
No, I'm like trying to find where I've seen somebody else mention it. It's just, it's going to be interesting. And I'm actually kind of looking forward to the mini mail survey training just to see what actually comes out of it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Like I said, I have a supervisor who gets confused by the, sauces that she gets from Chick-fil-A. So this ought to really challenge her. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Okay, here it is. It was in the Rural Mail Talk Forum. This kind of goes along with... I don't have my sheet on me. It's in the car. Also with the edit books. I mean, yeah, we all know we're supposed to keep them updated monthly. But now, this is all... I don't have my sheet with me. I'll have to... it's in the car, like I said. But here it goes. This is a post off of Rural Mail Talk Forum. This past week, the postmaster informed us that the Red Book has to be updated a month along with the 4003. Also, that if a box holder... or if a box doesn't get first-class mail, and also if that first-class mail is not removed in 10 days, that is considered vacant. I'm in a tourist town, and during summer, a lot of snowbirds are gone. We get a lot in the winter. For instance, my area in the winter, a lot of people are gone, and they have their summer cottages up here.
They're talking. Yeah, they're talking about snowbirds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a lot different than somebody who doesn't get their mail out of their box for 10 days. I've got people with cluster boxes that don't do it in 10 days.
But basically, well, this is just talking about the area they're in. But it's just basically if they don't routinely get first class mail, like on a weekly basis, and if they do get it once in a while, and if they haven't cleaned out their box within 10, or haven't pulled it out within 10 days, and it's supposed to be removed and marked vacant. I get it, being in a seasonal area, what they're saying on that. Because, like I said, we do have people that have their second homes up here, and they may come up once a month, check on the house, clean out their mailbox, and go. And they only get the local bills for that house in that box.
Yeah.
So why...
Well, what are they going to do about people? With 98% of our mail is junk mail anyway, and the only bills that some people are getting are utility bills or VA bill or something like that once a month. So there's 20 other days in there that they could be considered vacant.
Yeah, I know.
That's a dumbass rule.
I know there is a push, especially in my area, by our POOM or MPOO, however you want to call it, that they, he doesn't want growth on these routes at all. The smaller, the better.
Yeah.
And that's what happened in the last official mail count in 2018. Is we had one route that lost 4 hours because the supervisor, who was OICing at the time, counted every pill packet as a flat.
Oh, God. If it doesn't fit in the 1-inch slot...
It didn't matter. She counted them all as a flat.
10 years ago now, we had the station manager at the time took one of those pill bottle, them white bags with the pill bottles, pressed it between his knees, took the blue stick, put it over there, and screams across the workroom floor, "It's a flat!"
Well, you should have explained to him that he's not allowed to mangle mail, manipulate the mail, and change any physical aspects of the mail. That's considered damaged.
This is also a route that is also parcel heavy. And it was 2 weeks after the last mail count that Amazon came into my office that I'm currently at. So if that tells you anywhere where my routes are at right now.
Oh, and that takes me right back to September when we were supposed to have the mini mail survey.
Yeah.
Because as of today, we have now served 5 years of Amazon bullshit without getting credit for it.
Exactly.
5 years. You hear that, National Board? You hear that? 5 fucking years that I've lost money.
And then you had COVID on top of it, the pandemic levels of packages, which were like Christmas level packages in in a lot of offices that never, it died down a little bit, but that became our norm. Doing twice as many packages on a daily that what our routes were evaluated for from the last mail count. So then we have Christmas on top of it, and holy hell. There's a reason why I worked 160 hours in 3 weeks, people.
Let me give you a personal insight into this whole situation. When COVID started and everybody started ordering things online, it created a two-way drama.
Yes.
In the fact that people realized how easy it is to get stuff ordered online and delivered to your door. But today, when my wife and I went shopping, we were looking for Tylenol for the baby. So when he comes over here, we have baby Tylenol. They didn't have any in the store. But when you come home and order it online, it's available, will be to you in 3 days. And the problem that creates is that the reason it's not getting to the store is because they're shipping so much from offsite that the brick and mortar stores aren't getting refilled, replenished, because everybody's shipping it online. So, it's kind of like a double dip effect that you can't find what you want at the store because they're shipping it online. They're shipping it online because we found out through the COVID pandemic that we can get it through the mail, the UPS, FedEx, and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what's driving the damn stores to go out of business, because of the fact that they can't get the product because the people who manufacture it are so busy shipping it through online sites. They don't have time to refill the brick and mortars.
Exactly.
Oh, by the way, eggs are $5.99 a dozen. $5.99 a dozen of eggs.
I'm gonna start buying from my
I saw
local.
Someone had posted.
I'm gonna start buying my eggs from my local farmers on my routes.
I saw someone, two things in regards to eggs. Posted. It was the one was a side by side of two different stores. Eggs it was like $8.99 for a dozen at the one store, and then $9.29 at the other store. And then the second post I saw was a picture of, it was like at BJ's or Sam's Club, where they have just the whole wall of eggs stacked in the huge walk-in, and you had like about a half dozen of the cartons were crushed in the middle of it. It's like, someone's going to lose their job. That's like $1,000 worth of eggs.
Yeah, that totally bombed there, Josh.
So I don't know what costs.
Well, Easter egg hunts are canceled this year.
That's what the one was. It was like with the $8.99 and $9.90 and $9 something a dozen. So yeah, the Easter egg hunts have been canceled.
It's like, getting tired of delivering cases of toilet paper and cases of paper towel and having to walk 2 flights upstairs for somebody's 40-pound box of cat litter. Go to the fucking store, people. Sorry, that was my rant.
I always like going to the store so I can make fun of the other people. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we ready to wrap this up tonight, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, final words, Mike.
Folks, there's a lot of resources out here on Wrecs still. Like I said, I have to dust out my Wrecs guide again, and my material on the mini survey. Excuse me, it's not a count, it's a survey. But educate yourselves, please, and realize that the mail survey is part of Wrecs. It's not two separate events, and the mail survey is a small portion of Wrecs, and it's not going to have, in the big scheme of things, not a big effect on your route, but it should still be done correctly. So learn what it's supposed to be so you can do it right. And of course, be careful out there.
Josh?
Done.
Final words, Josh.
Josh, any final thoughts?
Well, to follow up on what Mike was just saying, the understanding I have, the mini mail survey is just recalculating your distances from your case to everything else in office that you walk to, and any raw mail that you get from the hot case and flat rack or bread rack, whatever you call it in your office. Be safe out there. A lot of places have already had bad weather. We're starting to get into the bad weather season for everyone else. Don't get overwhelmed. Take a step back, take a breath, step back in. Have a good week.
Bill.
Oh,
Or does
me?
Bill go last?
It's my turn?
Sure.
Well, like Mike said, everybody go out and educate yourself. If you don't know where to go, ask. I mean, there's plenty of material online. Even if you're not a union member, you can ask a union member. They'll be more than happy to share things with you that you need to do to keep your routes evaluation up to snuff. And just follow the game plan, and plug away. Remember, don't get stressed, cause it, because folks, at the end of the day, you need to get yourself home to your family and your loved ones, because you're the most important delivery of the day. And I truly want everybody to get home safely. I don't want to see another tractor trailer hitting one of the carriers and crushing their lives. I can't imagine, seeing a tractor trailer coming at one of those damn ice cream trucks. But, folks, please be careful, because no matter what, the post office will just replace you the next day. Get your ass home to your family, okay? And be safe.
And on that note, I just wanted to thank you, Bill. And just an update on that carrier that was hit with the semi. She has been moved to a rehabilitation center and is slowly recovering. So she's getting there. But on that note, even with some technical difficulties, I want to wish everybody safe out there, and we will be back next week. Have a good night.
Night.
Night.